You're watching TVC Breakfast. Now, from being some of the happiest people on earth, Nigerians have slumped to the rank of the most depressed in Africa.
Well, this is according to data from the World Health Organization, which shows that Nigeria has 7.1 million sufferers of depression. That is 3.9% of the population. Well, depression is the leading cause of disability worldwide, and in many cases leads to suicide, which is the second leading cause of death in 15 to 29-year-olds globally. According to the WHO, Nigeria currently ranks 15th in the world for suicides. This is a drastic shift from what obtained a few years back, when Nigerians were ranked amongst the top 5 happiest people in the globe. As the world commemorates the International Day of Happiness today with the theme Happier Together, we are asking what could be responsible for this monumental change. Joining me now is a broadcast journalist, Olamide Oshofa. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Good morning.
It's International or World Happiness Day.
Yeah, it is.
Let's start with what makes you happy? What's happiness to you in the first place?
Okay, so I usually like to tell people that happiness is a state of mind and not a circumstance. And basically, as you rightly said, suicide cases have increased very much around the world, and Nigeria happens to be one of the countries currently going through that. And what I have discovered is that a lot of people tend to fall down into depression based on the fact that things are not exactly the way they want it to be. So I will say it again, the state of mind is where it should start from and not the circumstances surrounding you.
For you, you just decide to be happy without, perhaps, if things are not working the way you want it, whether things work, whether it's not working, you're happy, since it's a state of mind. Okay,
so first things first, I have my own set of rules, which starts with, number one, I never bother about things I do not have control over.
All right.
So what that means essentially is that there's some certain things that you do not have the capabilities or abilities to control, and those are the major things that usually set people down that path of
perhaps
depression.
This is why people say that happiness isn't easy, you have to work for it.
Yes, you have to earn it, actually. You have to. Basically, it's not as easy as I make it sound, because you can't just wake up in the morning and just smile.
Because Nigerians used to be, like we rightly said, Nigerians used to be one of the world's happiest people, but suddenly slumped. You see the cases of suicide rising. Is it because people don't know how to manage their emotions, or seem to know how to handle situations like you have said? What you can't handle or what you can't control, you have no control over, you just let it slide.
Okay, I think we've gotten to a time whereby people really need to understand that this thing is real and people need to seek help. Unfortunately, in this part of the world, we do not take things like that as seriously as we should. So most people, when they go through challenges, they do not share these challenges, and they don't share with the right people. I mean, the professionals who handle such things, who can talk you through whatever you're going through, we can bring you out from that state and follow up on you. But in this part of the world, we don't see things like that as being a challenge or being a problem. So most people end up bottling a lot of issues without having the right ways to resolve or treat these issues. So
now that we know that these things, we are aware of these things, that's depression and all of that, how do you intend to share happiness today?
Well, you can start with a smile. I think that's the first step to being happy. Start with a smile. Things might be difficult, you might not have a ready-made solution to it, but a smile
really always change. But
yeah,
for some other person, beyond the smiles, there are colors that make them happy. What colors make you happy? Red?
No. Funny enough, I'm not such a color person. I just wear whatever, so yeah. Oh,
you don't have any colors that make you happy?
Okay, let's go with red for today. Oh. Yeah, so tomorrow might be blue or green.
Now, looking ahead now, when we look at sharing happiness and also trying to help people who are perhaps found themselves fall into depression, how would you say, help or want to help people? How should not just let's say not the government now, people around, families, friends, when we find people who have fallen into depression, how should we help them out of it?
Okay, so this is where people need to be extremely sensitive. You need to be observant about people around you. There are times whereby a little, how are you, or how are you doing? You know, a little, is everything okay? Those are the first steps you take to, you know, reaching out to people. And of course, in response, if you're going through a challenge of some sort, what you also need to do is share whatever this challenge is. They say a problem shared is half solved. So it's that simple. So people need to be a little bit more expressive. That will definitely help to start a process.
But you see, some people believe that once I share my problem or with you or any other person, that may not be your attitude or something, but they feel that once it's shared, the whole world has heard.
Unfortunately, there's little or nothing that can be done about people hearing. But if there's a problem, it's very important that that problem is shared with the right people. Yeah.
World Happiness Day, Olamide Oshofa. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
He says the day starts with a smile, and he just did. Sharing the smiles.